Car does come to a stop and then it hesitated right there. No traffic coming in from the left, so the car did make a nice entry into the roundabout. We do have some traffic here and we have some hesitation. And I'm going to take over at that point. Alright, so welcome to the drive. We do have a red light here. We're going to be waiting for this to change green. The drive today is using full self-driving beta version 10.69.2.3, and we do have a green light. We're proceeding into the intersection, waiting for our turn to go. And there's our opening. Car's going to make a left-hand turn here. Very nice turn, very good acceleration through that turn. And the focus of the drive today is going to be on roundabout type intersections, particularly two that I want to show up in Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin. So this is a smaller community, but they do have pretty good traffic at this time of day. The car did take a little dive there. Not sure what that was about, but it did recover. And it gets into the roundabout and exits very nicely. So I think there's just the slightest amount of route confusion coming up to that intersection. Alright, so for this roundabout entry, we're going to make a slingshot approach into the roundabout. So it's going to get into the roundabout, proceed all the way through the roundabout, and then exit back the direction that we entered it. So it'll be a full transition through it. And the first thing we'll want to do is get into the left lane. There we go. Car made the turn into the left lane just nicely. We do have some traffic in the roundabout, so we're going to see how well it does transitioning through this. Nice. It applied the brakes. Good separation for the traffic in the roundabout already. And that was good. Other than the car signaling through the roundabout intersection, I thought that it did very well. And we're at the intersection. We do have the creep limit right here. Car is creeping forward. No traffic coming in from the left. Safe to make the turn. The car does so. So very nice. Very well done. So we do have a truck coming up on our left-hand side. We want to be in the left lane. Car signals and it makes this transition. And there's ample traffic in the roundabout intersection. Our car enters without any hesitation, continues through, and we'll take this next exit. And that was very well done. All right, we'll take another run through the intersection. This is going to be a straight through the intersection. So we'll enter the roundabout and proceed all the way to the other side of it, and then exit on the opposite. Car's hesitating just because we have a pedestrian standing at the crosswalk. Once it determined it was safe to proceed, it did make the right-hand turn. So I've got the full screen visualization set up here. We can see the motorcycle right in front of us, as well as all the other traffic around us. Just curious to see how it depicts the intersection right here, and it looks like it does have a nice outline of the roundabout intersection. So here we are entering, nice smooth entry. Car has a little bit of hesitation in the roundabout right at that point, but it did commit and it did make it through. So everything worked pretty well at that transition. All right, I've got the car turned around and we're going to enter the roundabout. Again, this will be another full transition through the roundabout, or a slingshot, going in, full turn in the roundabout, exiting the same direction which we entered. We're stopped here again at this intersection. Here's a visualization on the screen. It says autopilot's creeping forward. We do have some traffic coming in from the left-hand side. The car does hesitate. And after this white car, we are ready to proceed. All good right there. We do make the lane change into the left lane. Okay, coming up in the roundabout, I don't see a lot of cars. Oh, there's one vehicle in the intersection right there. They're proceeding straight through. No hesitation. The car very confidently entered the intersection. And it made the full turn through the roundabout and exiting back out the direction in which we came. All right, so I think we worked out that intersection very well. All of the attempts to go through the roundabout intersection were exactly as what I would have expected. All of them are much more improved from what I've seen with previous versions of full self-driving beta. Specifically versions 10.11 and forward. I think I've noticed some improvements with the intersections, but very much a smooth transition through the roundabout with 10.69.2.3. So we're going to cancel that route, and we do have another roundabout intersection straight in front of us. And for this one, I'm going to pick a new destination that will take us through the roundabout intersection. So this is a little bigger roundabout that we're going through. The speed in this one will be a little higher, a little faster than the one that we had before. Traffic, depending on what we see when we get up there, can be lighter or at least the same as what we had in the downtown Chippewa Falls area. So the car is in the correct lane to proceed through this roundabout. I see no traffic in the intersection. The car does enter, but interestingly, it's stopping right here. A little bit of lane confusion. Going to let the car do what it's going to do. So it did make a lane change there prematurely. This is the turn lane for the other direction traffic coming in, and then it merges into one. So it did end up in the correct lane at the end of it, but I thought that the lane discipline going through the roundabout left a lot to be desired. All right, so for this attempt, we're going to try another hairpin or slingshot type roundabout entry and exit. So this will be entering the roundabout, doing a full turn in the roundabout, and then exiting in the direction that we came. The car's in the correct lane for this. I would be in the left lane as well. I don't see any traffic in the intersection. This time we're proceeding through it. We do have two lanes that we can use to make this turn. And the car is in the correct lane. I would have gone through that a little faster just to establish a flow through the intersection. I don't feel like there's anything unsafe that the car did, but in terms of how I would do it as a human driver, I just would have flowed a lot better through that type of intersection. All right, for the second attempt through the intersection, for this third attempt through the intersection, we're going to do another hairpin or slingshot style turn where we exit the same direction in which we entered. The car is in the correct lane for roundabout entry. We do have a little bit of traffic coming in from the left-hand side, but it's hidden by this bush. So let's see if we pick it up here. Car does come to a stop, and then it hesitated right there. So I gave it some accelerator. It would have stopped and let that other vehicle pass through, but that's absolutely not how I would have done it as a human driver. Once in, we're seeing a little bit of confusion again. The car does want to struggle between the left and the right lanes through the intersection. Both are correct for the roundabout, but what I feel the car should do is pick one of the lanes and commit to it throughout the turn. All right, we'll do another attempt through this intersection. No traffic coming in from the left, so the car did make a nice entry into the roundabout. We do have some traffic here and we have some hesitation. And I'm going to take over at that point. We're just causing a lot of confusion with the other driver, and I don't feel like our car's telegraphing its intent very well by entering the intersection, having a turn signal on, and then the wheel jiggling, so the other driver really didn't know what the intent was at that point. We do have plenty of traffic coming in from the left-hand side at this point. Car is slowing down to the yield. It's going to make a full stop right here. It's very appropriate. So it'll be interesting to see if our car picks a gap coming through this, and it does. It's coming in. It's very slow though, very slow. Needs to commit. I'm going to give it some accelerator. And again, we're stopped here for no reason that I can tell. So the car was not in the correct lane to navigate through the intersection. It did correct for that and entered the lane. There's a lot of hesitation, a lot of confusion with that. So again, with this very complex type of intersection, it is difficult for the car to know exactly which direction to go once it's in the intersection. Overall, the entry I thought was very good, spacing with other traffic, but it did not commit to that to the intersection once it was in it, and then it struggled with route control and following throughout the intersection. All right, this will be our final transition through the roundabout. We're coming up to the entry. No traffic coming in from the left. Could proceed directly in. And we'll want to be in this lane. It's going to struggle again with that right there. That's a little frustrating. Just doesn't seem to want to know what to do, especially if there are cars coming in from the right for the type of intersection. So I'm going to say a little more work needs to be done with roundabout intersections with all different scenarios. So that was a super interesting demonstration. I really didn't know what to expect with the new version of Full Self-Driving Beta in roundabout intersections. In the past, I've struggled with how the car behaved going through roundabouts. And in this one, what I found was the first roundabout example that we had, the car did very well, performed almost flawlessly through it. That one was the heavier traffic of the two roundabouts. The second roundabout intersection, because of the multiple lane situations and the faster speed going through, I think the car really struggled in the roundabout. Once it got into the roundabout, maintaining the correct lane to proceed through it, and also being aware of what other traffic was going to do and responding to that were two areas that I really saw the car struggle. I did have to assist it more and disconnect it a couple of times in the second roundabout intersection that we transitioned through. Well, that's all I have for the video this week. Hopefully you found something useful in it. If you did, please don't forget to hit the like button, and thank you for watching. We'll catch you in the next one.